Welcome to the Hustle Skirt Podcast, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone every day with your host, Debra Gould. Yes, I am Debra Washington Gould, President and CEO of Debra Gould and Associate Inc., a management consulting and performance management firm based in New Orleans since 1996. And my professional offerings are executive coaching, training and facilitating, and management consulting, assessments, and surveys. So that's the business side. Today, you are invited to my show called The Hustle Skirt. And it is indeed my privilege and honor to have such a high profile executive that I'm interviewing today. So I'm so excited. So, with that being said, something about the Hustle Skirt podcast. The mission of the Hustle Skirt podcast is to promote, communicate, and amplify the influence of men and women entrepreneurs. And today, we not only have those entrepreneurs for profit, but today we have the privilege to interview a high executive, the Urban League of Louisiana President and CEO, Judy Reese Morse. And with that being said, to my audience, let me say hello to this amazing, phenomenal woman. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Deborah. It is such a tremendous honor to be here with you today. Thank you so much for having me. And I have just admired you for such a long time, such a tremendous business executive here in the state of Louisiana, and an advocate, untiring advocate for equity, for opportunities, not just for yourself, but for all women of color, men of color, people of color. So it's just a joy to be here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you to my audience. I was not expecting all of that, but I receive it with confidence and thank you. So let me share the credential of Judy Reese Morse. Serves as president and CEO of Urban League of Louisiana, the largest African American led African American serving organization in Louisiana. The Urban League of Louisiana promotes economic self-reliance, partisan, racial equity, and civil rights for African Americans and others. Moise leads an executive team that oversees education and youth development, workforce development, entrepreneurship, and a host of policy and advocacy issues. I want you to know how to reach the New Orleans location of the Urban League, 4640 South Carrollton Avenue, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70119. I want to give this contact information from one of her team leaders who has been a tremendous support in making sure this interview happened today. His email address, Mr. Jonathan Barnes, Barnes, and lowercase, the email address, jbarnes at urbanleaguela.org. And he's even shared a contact cell number, 504-715-4437. Now, during my interview with Judy today, there will be a spotlight moment. And Judy, you have the privilege and opportunity to share any other contact information so folks would know the tremendous work that you've been doing as a leader in this city. So all of my guests on the Hustle Skirt know that I'm going to bring it and I'm going to present some specific, general, and fun questions. So you ready to rock and roll with me, Judy?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Love it. My first question, and I may sneak an extra general question in here because I believe you can handle this. My first one is I just mentioned in your bio about the services, but is there anything else you would like to add? What services or products do you offer at ULL that I did not mention so far in your credentials?
Well, again, Deborah, thank you so much for having me as a guest on your podcast and for giving me the opportunity to talk about the incredible work that the entire staff here at the Urban League of Louisiana delivers to our community. We are not just a New Orleans based organization, we actually cover 7 cities across the state of Louisiana. So, New Orleans and 6 other cities, Baton Rouge, Monroe, Shreveport, Alexandria, Lake Charles, and Lafayette. That's a lot of ground to cover in the state of Louisiana, but we are up for the task. We've got an unbelievably talented team here at the Urban League of Louisiana. And as you said, we cover everything from education, youth development, workforce development, entrepreneurship, and then a host of quality of life issues under the policy and advocacy umbrella. And our mission, Deborah, is to build a Louisiana where Black and others of the global majority have economic self-reliance, where they have civil rights, where they have equitable representation, and where they have generational wealth. And I know that topic of generational wealth is really, really important to you. It has been
Yes.
what you have been fighting for years here in the state of Louisiana. And it's just as important to us here at the Urban League of Louisiana. And so I wanted everybody to know that we do this work statewide, that we are always looking to partner. We believe in the collective impact model. The problems are too deep and they've been around for too long for one organization to be able to respond to the need. And so we look for those opportunities to create collective impact, to be able to work with other organizations to co-create solutions together and to do the hard work that lives within any civil rights organization.
And since you have stepped into the helm of this leadership role, what you just shared with my audience is absolutely what you're doing as it relates to education, healthcare, and the policy and advocacy issues. You have had some amazing program on the national level, regional, state, as well as citywide that I've been able to participate in every program from your executive team. They are absolutely brilliant. And I've met some super fantastic people on your team. So we're going to keep it going now. This time, Judy, I'm going to ask a specific question. What is the best praise or constructive or useful feedback you have received by family, friends, business colleagues, and advocacy business groups? Would you share that with my audience?
That is a tough one, Deborah. That is a tough one
Not for
because
you, not for an amazing person like you. Let
I've
us have it.
gotten, look, we both have gotten so much great advice in our careers over the years. And let me say this, I think the way I want to answer this is both are equally important, both the positive and also how and when and where we can improve. I treat those as equals. I have to know when things are going well because it then helps me to know, well, continue moving in that direction. But I also want to know when there is an opportunity to improve. And I think you will know, and you would agree with this, our biggest opportunities for growth and development happen inside of the things that don't go the way that we had hoped
Mm.
and don't turn out the way that we expected them to turn out. And so I've now over the years learned to look at those opportunities maybe in a greater way because when things don't go the way that you think they're going to go, it automatically means that there is something new that you've seen. There's something new that you have an opportunity to do or not to do. And so I treat both of them as good, as my husband would say, count it all good in the church. We count it all as good and we look for those opportunities to grow. So I think I would answer it that way, is to treat the things that don't turn out the way that we want them to, just as give them just as much value as we would someone giving us a compliment.
Excellent, excellent. And there's always room for continued improvement. And
Yes.
thank God that you're open to that kind of feedback because you're supporting so much on your shoulder and making things work in our community. That was a great response to that
And may I
question.
say one more thing? When you
Absolutely.
what you just said reminded me of this. The other reason that I think it's good to think about it that way is because it's not about us. It's not about us. It is about the people that we serve. So that concept of continuous improvement is something that we talk about here at the Urban League all the time in our senior leadership team meetings. We're constantly wanting to know, how do we get better? How do we do more? How do we become a better partner to others? Because there's so much at stake. There's so much on
Yes.
the line. Our community, there's nothing more important than our community, and every single person having the opportunities that they've been denied historically for hundreds of years. So we have got to lean into every opportunity, and not worry about us. Be honored that we are the individuals who are in the seats that we're in, you in your seat, me in my seat, because it is all about the community.
And just to reinforce, part of Hustle's Great podcast, this platform, I like to repeatedly say, this is bigger than who I am. My big why has everything to do with I must be the change I want to see in others. So I
Yes.
come from a mindset of abundance mentality, not scarcity. So when I
Yes.
had the vision and mission to do this podcast, I wanted opportunity to have folks see real people like you,
Yes.
a higher executive who is making things happen, that's making a difference in our community. I wanted to showcase and spotlight entrepreneurs, young as well as veterans and seasoned professionals who are doing the work in mentoring, creating mentoring proteges, and giving back to the community. So I feel like I'm leaning in and I'm on purpose.
You
With
are.
that, so I do have another question, and then I'm going to turn it over to Judy. So you get to do whatever Judy wants in this your spotlight moment. My final question: what are you most passionate about? I'm hearing it. I see the passion. I hear your enthusiasm. I see the work, but I want to hear from you. What are you most passionate about?
I'll tell you, I am truly, truly deeply committed to racial equity, both the development of it and the practice of it. And I have been in this space for a number of years, as you know, and I've had the great fortune to be able to do it in government, to be able to do it in the nonprofit sector. And I just fall in love with it more and more every day. When you have the opportunity to see how much need there is, and to meet so many amazing people in community, and you see what it is that they are passionate about, and you see what opportunities they want for themselves and for their children and their children's children, you can't help but join them in that passion. It's contagious. And what it always reminds me of is there's always important work to do on their behalf. And so I'm really, really motivated. I continue to be motivated, and I continue to have the desire to create a space, create spaces, plural, where equity lives and where people have an equal opportunity. After we practice equity, then we move to equality. And then everyone has that opportunity to be a full participant in the economy, to be a full participant as a citizen, as a resident. And that's what I'm passionate about. I have to also say, I have two adult children. I can't believe that they're adults, the young adults. And I'm deeply, deeply, deeply passionate about being a mother, and that will never change. But those are a couple of things that I'm passionate about. I love for people to realize their full potential. And in every way possible, every human being should have that right. And historically, we know that there have been systems that have not allowed that to happen. In fact, they were created to ensure that it wouldn't happen. And those systems have been successful for a long time, but we've got to bring those systems to an end, and we have to create new systems so that everyone has, again, the opportunity, the God-given opportunity to live their fullest potential. That is what I'm passionate about. That's what I believe in. And in some form or fashion, that is what I'm going to always be doing for as long as I'm breathing.
Well, on that note, Judy, the work must continue, like you said, especially around the racial equity piece. And I think women like you who are such strong leaders and bold and courageous, using your influence. I think the work that I do, I'm using my influence to have that lasting legacy, to pass the baton. I might not live long enough, but I think our influence and the work that we're doing to put things in place based on the way the system and where processes has worked in the past, we're doing the very best. And we're bringing others along as we nurture and guide them. The work has to continue when we're alone. If we're no longer here, we
Mhm.
must continue to work. So, right now, you have answered all three of my questions beautifully. I want to take this moment. This is your mindful moment to spotlight. What would you like to tell my audience more about ULL? Now, I have my selfish uh, thoughts in terms of something you did so amazingly in year 2023 that I was privileged to hear a special message in 2023 at the Ernest N. Morial Convention Center, where you had taken the platform. And I watched you, Judy, because you respect the privilege of the platform. And there was a message directly to small business owners. If you can scratch your head and recall just some of that, that is my request. But if there's something else you would like to share in your spotlight moment, feel free to do that. But it brought me to tears to hear that message. And I said, someday, if I can get this super powerful woman on my platform so that others throughout this state, globally, national, regionally, can hear that message, I would like to have you bless me. But this is your moment. Take it away, Judy.
Well, thank you, Deborah. Just the kindest words. I wish we could do this every morning. I would feel motivated every morning before I start my day. I really am enjoying spending this time with you. And I think it is so important for people like you to create the platform opportunities for people like me and others like me so that we can get the word out about what we're doing, the work that we're doing, and to share with our communities and with others, potential partners, potential funders, and just the general public. There's so many people who are uninformed, and this platform, again, I'm just so grateful to you for making it possible. And I thank you for those kind words. You are taking me back to 2023. And I do remember the time that you talk about, which was at the Ernest M. Morial Awards. Our convention center is named after the first Black mayor in the city of New Orleans, Ernest Nathan Morial, called Dutch as his nickname. And they created an award to honor the work that he did and his strong values and his beliefs around small business opportunities, particularly for Black business owners. And of course, that vision and that work really was the foundation for many other and really every other mayor since Mayor Morial to really prioritize providing the opportunities and the support needed so that Black businesses could not just survive, but they could thrive and they could have opportunities to be successful. And we all know how incredibly important that is. And so the Urban League of Louisiana had the opportunity to partner with the Ernest M. Morial Convention Center, and we still do so to this day for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been in partnership with the Morial Convention Center to present the Ernest and Morial Award. There are two awards that are presented, one to a small business owner and then one to a large corporation. And the winners every year are small companies and large corporations who embody the importance of supporting Black businesses and creating opportunities for them. And so in 2023, I think some of what I said really came from my heart then and still comes from my heart today. Because here at the Urban League of Louisiana, we have the great fortune to be able to work with a number of small businesses every day. We help the small business owner who has an idea and wants to start a business from the very beginning, from day one. We work with existing business owners who have a business and the business is doing well, but they want to grow that business. Maybe they're just a one-person operation and they'd like to hire one or two people. They're growing and they need to know how to do that. And then we work with businesses that are larger who really want to scale and really grow and compete with the largest businesses that exist here in Louisiana and nationally. And so wherever they are on the spectrum, we meet them where they are, and we provide tremendous services to them. We have an outstanding, award-winning entrepreneurship operation here at the Urban League of Louisiana. And so having served as the president and CEO for the last 6 years, I've had an opportunity to see small business through the nonprofit lens. And having brought really 14 and a half years of government experience at the state and city level to the Urban League of Louisiana, it really helped me to see it from another angle. And what I've come to realize, along with a lot of research and a lot of data partnerships that we do here at the Urban League of Louisiana, it is impossible for anyone who is in economic development, impossible to not think about and to try to advance racial equity if you're really serious about economic development. You can't do it without thinking about racial equity. Now, that's a unique lens that we take here at the Urban League of Louisiana, because you don't hear most economic developers, whether it's at the local level, at the state level, or at the national level, really talking about practicing racial equity as an economic development strategy. But I will argue every day that it absolutely is. If economic development is about advancing opportunities for the business sector and the business community to help to grow the economy, it is impossible to grow the economy without first looking at where your gaps are. And when you look at where your gaps are, you're going to see all of the businesses of color who have not had their fair share and their shot at being able to fully participate in the economy. Here's the other thing that you're going to see. You're going to see the businesses that are actually solving the problems and addressing the issues in our community, even though they're not getting their full shot at being able to grow their businesses. But if you want to see who is hiring returning citizens, go and find a Black-owned business. If you want to see who is giving a recent college graduate that first opportunity at a professional career, giving them their first job, take a look at a Black-owned business. If you want to see the place where when the high school cheerleaders need to raise money for their uniforms, or when the elementary school football team needs to travel to another city in the state to be able to play in a tournament, do you know where they go to get those dollars? They go to the Black-owned businesses. Black-owned businesses, small Black-owned businesses, are the anchors in our neighborhoods. They are leaders in our community, and they are the pillars of our communities with all of the challenges that we faced, all of the challenges and all of the things that are not being done, our Black-owned businesses in neighborhoods across this state and across this country are the anchors. They are the places that we look to, the people that we look to with honor and respect, because they stay with us and they are looking to support us. So it seems only smart, not talking about what's right, I'm not talking about what's fair. I'm talking about what is smart dollars and cents business to support Black-owned businesses, small business owners, so that they can continue to be the anchors in their communities. We can start to close the gaps that exist in our economy. And we know that when everyone is able to fully participate in the economy for everyone gets better. Overall, our economy grows. And so this makes so much sense to me that sometimes I wonder, do I really need to say this again? Because everybody gets this. Certainly everybody gets this. This is just 1+1 = 2. Well, we know we have to continue to say it, because even when we know 1+1 = 2, sometimes there are people and forces who don't want to accept that math. They want to continue to divide. They want to continue to not provide those opportunities to create policies that work against small business owners becoming stronger and better, so that they can continue to be anchors and also help to anchor the overall economy. And so we at the Urban League of Louisiana, obviously, because of our mission and the work that we do every day, we love entrepreneurs. We love career seekers. We love parents. We love young people. We love entire families. And that's why our mission points us directly to economic self-reliance, to generational wealth, to civil rights, because that is who we are, and to equitable representation. And so that is what we believe in. That's who we are. That's what we're passionate about. That is why we love you, Debra Gould, and women like you and leaders like you who put it all on the line. You walk that plank every day by yourself. Maybe you have some supporters. I know when your wonderful husband walked that plank with you. But really, when it comes down to it, small business owners have to take tremendous risks in order to do the work that they do. And we just want to say, we understand that here at the Urban League of Louisiana, and it is our honor to be able to work with small businesses who want to advance, who want to grow themselves. It's our honor to do so every day here at our organization.
Bravo, Judy. To my audience, for me, I was twice blessed because I got to hear this message in 2023. And today it was just said so beautifully again. You have blessed my audience. And before we close out, is there any other reference, a link, or other information, contact that you would like to say? Brilliantly said. Thank you for being the champion that you are. You was very specific and you brought it, Judy. You just don't know how much I appreciate this interview today. Is there
Thank you.
anything else you would like to share before I come to a close?
Thank you so much, Debra. I just want to say thank you again. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for the amazing work that you have done over the years. Please keep it going. Please keep this podcast going. Thank you for creating the opportunity for me and others to talk about the work that we do. And I would just say, everybody should take a moment and go to the Urban League of Louisiana's website. It's Urban League LA, urbanleaguela.org, and you'll have an opportunity to see all of the incredible work that this organization is doing. You're going to be amazed when you go to the website and you see how much we have to offer. And the other thing I'll ask you to do, if you take a few moments to go to the website, if there's anything that you see, think about others that you know who may be able to take advantage of the work that we do. We're really, really going beyond just the first person who comes to us. We're thinking about that person, we're thinking about that person's family, and we're thinking 2 generations beyond that person. We're in it for the long game here at the Urban League of Louisiana. We are trying to create generational resources, generational benefits for our community. So it starts with the first person who comes to see us, but it doesn't stop there, where we want to help you to think through what's good for you, and then the generation that follows you, and then the generation that follows that generation. And so go to our website, reach out to us, engage us. It is our honor to serve community, and we love doing it every day. And Debra Gould, we love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this opportunity. It's been so much fun.
You're most welcome. The privilege was all mine, Judy. And as we close out the Hustle Skirt podcast show for today, the objective is to empower you to speak up and speak out. Embrace change in your own vision, mission, and purpose. Didn't you hear the passion from Judy Reese Morse, the president and CEO of Urban League of Louisiana? So much passion. Thank you, Judy, for what you're doing in the state of Louisiana. And really, this message will reach globally today. Make sure, my listening audience, to watch this interview at www.persistencelane.com, all one word, where you can subscribe to the Hustle Skirt 9 podcast that you will see at this particular website, www.persistencelane.com. While you're at it, if you found the value in this interview with Judy Reese Morse today, the president and CEO of Urban League of Louisiana, we will appreciate a rating on iTunes, or just tell someone in your community, your family, your network, your friends that you was watching this podcast today. With that being said, Judy, you and my audience is listening to the Hustle Skirt podcast, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone, every day, with your host and founder, Debra Washington Gould. Thank you, Ms. Morse, for the privilege and the value of your time today. Until we meet again, Judy, take care. And this was an amazing interview today. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Debra.
Each other again. God bless you. Bye-bye.